The Bible. When you make a promise to God, don't delay in following through, for God takes no pleasure in fools. Keep all the promises you make to Him. It is better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. Don't let your mouth sin, and don't defend yourself by telling the temple messenger the promise you made was a mistake. That will make God angry, and He might wipe everything you have achieved. Talk is cheap, like daydream and other useless activities. Fear God instead. We are being warned about making foolish promises to God. Just as we are not to make false promises to God, we are also not to make false promises to men or commit the same sin to men. This does not mean that the church should coerce us towards giving or making a promise to God, but it should come from our heart. If we promise to the church something voluntarily, then we must keep it. But if it is coerced, then that is not the way of God, because it should come from the heart. In the Israelites' culture, making vows was a selfless matter, because vows were voluntary. But once made, they were unbreakable. Deuteronomy 23:21-23, it is foolish to make a vow you cannot keep, or play games with God by only partially fulfilling your vows. Proverbs 20:25, it is better not to make a vow than to make a vow to God and break it. If you make a vow, keep it. Sometimes it may seem we are making a vow to fellow men, but actually it might be to God, depending on God's given vision to the person. Ananias and Sapphira fell to their death because they thought they had made a promise to a fellow man, forgetting the man was only acting according to the will and vision of God. As children of God, let us learn to be promise keepers to both God and men. If we know we can't keep a promise, we'd rather not make it, because it is a sin. For prayers and guidance towards Christ, call Pastor Charles Muya on 0724 213 010. Remember that prayers are not to be sold, neither do we find power through handkerchiefs, oil, water, or any other object that tries to take the place of God. God is the only beholder of power, and we should only trust in Him and no other object. Freely it was given to you, and freely shall you give. Be a part of the Latter Days Ministry by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Pastor Charles Muya Latter Days Ministry. You can also share with your family and friends to support this ministry. May God bless you and yours.